F1 seems to be growing by the day in the USA, and today's race is a testament to that. It's time for the Miami Grand Prix. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I am sure it's one which will please the fans. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Phoenix lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Villeneuve, Sainz, Ocon, Albon, Liam Lawson, Stroll, Norris, Hauger, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Sargent, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Joe, Perez, Magnussen, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. We welcome once again to the commentary box Anthony Davidson. And how do you mentally prepare yourself for the rush of the opening lap?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn one as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Say that again, we're having trouble receiving you. Copy. No rain expected for the time being. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. laps off. They're in fourth. They're in second, and so the difference is 0.6 seconds. Copy that. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Our gap behind is 2.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Their tyres are just one lap old. Okay, we think they've got two stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1:38.6. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. mate. We might need to look at a new race strategy after that. I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFD. Teammate ahead is 8.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in third. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 36.4. Okay, you have a lot of front wing damage. Box for a new one. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. And you've got P13. P13. Hauger's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.4 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Sargent behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 10.4 seconds. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, gap ahead is 15.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Your last lap time was a 1:36.9. car in front is 12.4 seconds. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. I didn't catch that, mate. Just say it again. Piastri ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 10.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap was a 1 minute 36.8. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. You only have to stop once now, 1 stop left. Pit window opens in 12 laps time, 12 laps. Please repeat, you're breaking up. Bottas ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:38.0. This is brilliant. You're taking 2.5 seconds out of them each lap. Nice move, keep going. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. And you've got P15. That's Gasly ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 5.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Piastri's behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Your pit window will be open in 7 laps' time. And that's 42 laps to go. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.7 seconds. Science is in the pits. They're in first, and the gap is 21.8 seconds. The last lap time was a 1:36.2. currently trailing our teammate by 20.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in third. Time last lap was a 1:36.3. Currently in P13. Gasling's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Piastri's behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 19.8 seconds. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. Okay, 40 laps to go now. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Hauger just ahead. Push hard. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 18 laps old. So the time last lap was a 1:38.3. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:50.9. P9, you're running P9, keep going. Russell's ahead of you now. Our gap to the car in front is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hauger behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 19.5 seconds. You've got 4 laps until your pit window opens. Alright mate, that's 39 laps to go. Didn't receive that. Repeat the message, repeat the message. Gap to your teammate ahead is 19.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in second. Time last lap was a 1:36.6. They're sitting in 7th. Okay, so the gap is 4.8 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1:34.6. Okay, the gap to the car ahead is 5 seconds. Let's see if we can bring it down. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. That's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. Okay, gap ahead is 6.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 36.0. Okay, you're dropping back by around 2/10 each lap. And gap to the car in front is 7.1 seconds. Jax is in the pits. Jax is in the pits now. P6, you've got P6. Lawson's just ahead. Come on, let's push. And the gap behind us is 2.4 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Distance to the leader is 18.6 seconds. Okay, your pit window opens next lap, and there's 36 laps to go. And that's Jax behind. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. And Verstappen's behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. Okay, so the car behind's just come in. They're now on a soft tyre. Soft tyres on the car behind. Push now, we're boxing this lap. Leclerc is ahead of you. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. We got P16. Okay, Magnussen ahead. They're on fresh softs. Perez behind. We're leaving the car behind by 15.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 34 laps to go. Caution, caution. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Perez is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.5. Okay, good work. Great pass. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. That's Joe just ahead. Push for that position. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 0.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap was a 1:36.5. fastest lap of the race. Repeat that, I've got some interference here. It's Hamilton ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The last lap time was a 1:34.5. He's gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. Gap to the next car is around 3 seconds. We're currently trailing our teammate by 23.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in second. Time last lap was a 1:34.1. Lawson ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:35.6. Okay, it's static over the radio. Say it again. Mind that front wing. It's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. Tyre condition still looking good. Gap to your teammate ahead is 20.8 seconds. Say that again, we're having trouble receiving you. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 36.6. Okay, keep this going. We're gaining by around 4 seconds a lap. Gap to the car in front is 7.3 seconds. Ocon is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 7.3 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.6. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. We're currently sat in 6th. Ocon ahead, and gap to the car in front is 5.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, Sainz is behind you. Okay, gap to the car behind. 2.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 19.0 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 27 laps to go. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 4.1 seconds. Ocon is ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 35.7. catch that, mate? Just say it again. We're currently trailing our teammate by 17.9 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in seconds. Your last lap time was a 1:35.3. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.2 seconds. You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff. Okay, so we've got 27 laps of fuel remaining. 27 laps. Okay, you've got P5, P5. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 4.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Norris behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 12.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 15.1 seconds. Look after these tyres now and we want to finish the race on this compound. And that's 23 laps to go. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. Verstappen's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 0.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 35.1. This is brilliant. You're taking 2.5 seconds out of them each lap. Okay, Jacques is coming in for his stop now. Jacques is in the pits. Jacques is in the pits now. They're in first. The difference is 9.5 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1:35.6. Okay, you've got P3. P3, well done. Leclerc ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 8.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Verstappen behind you now. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 9.5 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. We've got 20 laps left until the end. They're in second, and so the difference is 9.7 seconds. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 35.6, and gap to the car in front is 5.4 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind is 8.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Is ahead of you. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 8.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 16 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.1. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 7.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 49.9. and that's Jax behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 7.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The last lap time was a 1:33.6. Car behind you is Jax. Our gap behind is 2.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:33.6. You're leading the pack, that's P1, and that's Jax behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 16 laps to go. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. 5 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1:33.4. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, clear. First position, front of the pack. Car behind you is Jacques. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 13 laps to go. Right, there's a big incident in front of you. Red flag, red flag. We'll update you in the pit. There's a good chance to change our strategy for the rest of the Grand Prix if we want to. Getting underway in just a moment. Stand by. Leclerc is behind you. They're on fresh softs. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in third. 13 laps of fuel remaining. We're leading the pack, that's P1. Leclerc behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. And 11 laps to go. Laps of fuel remaining. They're in fourth. Okay, so the gap is 2.7 seconds. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 36.3. Understood, copy that. Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. teammate behind is 2.7 seconds. They're in fourth. The difference is 3.0 seconds. Time last lap was a 1:32.9. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in second. And the time last lap was a 1:33.0. And that's 8 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel remaining. We're in first position, front of the pack, and that's Jack's behind. And the gap behind us is 3.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Come on, just 3 laps to go, 3 laps. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Car behind you is Jack's. We're leaving the car behind by 5.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:33.2. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. So let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Phoenix increases their championship lead. So let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Phoenix.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. Been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.